Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
You ready to do the Raiders, Matt?
I am so ready.
Now, I saved it last for you because I was like, let's end it last because of how it happened last year. Yeah, the injustice. Right. Okay.
I appreciate that. Yes. I appreciate that.
So this is the Raiders season preview. Don't forget to like this channel, subscribe to it, and also leave a comment of your predictions and what you're looking forward to for the Raiders this season. Last year, 13. Dyslexia kicked in. 3-14 last year is what that is for the Raiders. So, Matt, we're going to start with you on these favorite move that the Raiders made.
Yeah, I got to say, last year was one of the hardest years since Art Shell 2.0.
Okay, yeah.
When they brought the offensive coordinator out of retirement from running a bed and breakfast, and they brought him out of retirement, and that was an atrocious offense to watch.
Yeah, and those were the good old days.
This rivaled that. When coaches weren't taught. It was horrible. It was a depression fest last year.
Yeah,
it was bad. So my favorite move is we've got a direction. I finally feel like Pete Carroll was not a direction. That was a Band-Aid, and it was a bad Band-Aid that kept coming off and flapping in the wind. They couldn't stay stuck. Clint Kubiak was the coach I wanted, and so I'm just going to leave it at that. I've got so many favorite moves here, but I'm going to leave it open, and I'm just going to leave it at Clint Kubiak. We have a coach, and it's an offensive. I'm going to say I think he's a genius. I think he knows how to call plays. And I think he's going to be that silent, steady captain of this ship. And we're going to sail off there's going to be some good things, not this year, but in our future.
Okay. Now, just saying, if you only had like a good friend of yours that told you that the Pete Carroll, Geno Smith thing was a bad idea, you would have been less depressed if you would just have listened.
I did listen. It was awful. Yeah. It was an awful
You resisted. You listened and resisted. Travis, what was your favorite move that the Raiders made?
My favorite, to be very honest, I think my favorite move they did was they went and got Kirk Cousins, knowing full well they were going to draft Mendoza, and so it allows Mendoza not to be thrown into the Wolves until he's ready. And I think that's. For Raider fans, they should be excited for that because that's a smart thing to do.
Agreed. Yeah, I have. So they did the polar opposite of what they did last year. And that's my favorite move. Instead of going and getting the Pete Carroll, Geno Smith type, they're like, no. We're going to reset the entire culture. We're not worried about competing like for playoffs and all that stuff this year. We're going to go out and get a really good young coordinator that is really good, and we're going to pair him with a really young quarterback that has high potential. That is my favorite move. You talk about a direction, Matt. This is what I wanted to see last year. This is something like this is what I wanted to see. So
this is a true reset.
This is what I love.
Really what it is. It's not.
I gotta say though, when I was listening to that awful AFC West preview podcast last year, when you guys were, I did not want Pete Carroll, but honestly, who were they going to get? When their number one choice went to the Bears, who were they going to get? It was awful. It was an awful year. Kubiak hadn't proven himself. He was jumping to his third team. It was an awful position they were put in, and it was abysmal. We see, but you know what? With that being said, because they had no options, they got the first overall pick, and I love this kid.
That's the bittersweetness of what happened last year, right? Yeah.
They ran out of bed and breakfast.
Yeah, no more.
No, it's like like I could name off guys I would have rather seen them get, but it's like Brian Flores is. I love Brian Flores. I think he's awesome defensive coordinator. He got railroaded a little bit in Miami. I think he's a good head coach. So like there's some guys I would have rather seen them get, but all in all, it doesn't matter because at this point they're at a good starting point.
Yep.
To move forward. So I'm with you on that.
And there is one other thing too I'd like to add is, and remember the rate, and I'm surprised they did as well as they did in the offseason. Remember how their offseason got started? It was that weirdo Max Crosby trade, not trade to the Ravens.
No, that was this year.
This year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This
Oh,
year.
yeah. Oh, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about
already?
that.
Yeah, I mean, that's
okay. Yeah.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Down, Travis. Wait a minute.
Slow down, Travis. Matt, I'm going to give you like just rapid fire. Tell me some other moves you like because you weren't on here last year. This is my like makeup session for you. So throw it.
Tyler Linderbaum overpaying to build the center position, that offensive line. Obviously, Fernando Mendoza. Some of the other things, we drafted like 4 or 5 defensive backs. We're going to be young. It's going to take some time for our defensive backs to come through. I love what we did in the draft. And I love what we're doing on the offensive line. It's going to take probably another season, maybe 2, to build the depth of that offensive line. We're going to need a left tackle of the future. But I think we're headed in the right spot. When you have so many holes, there's only so much you can do in one off season. And right. I think this off season, because that'll take me to my least favorite move. But this off season, you can only fill so much.
Yeah,
there's only so much talent out there.
Yeah, this season is about establishing a culture and systems. And you see who's on your roster that'll fit that culture, fits that system. And then next year, you like just load up everybody who fits that system and will buy into the culture. And so next year, I'm excited for you this year, but next year I'm going to be maybe a little more bullish if everything works out for you. Okay, let's go least favorite move. Go ahead on your least favorite move, Matt, for the Raiders.
Not adding a true wide receiver one, but we couldn't. I mean, where are we going to find him? He wasn't out there in free agency. Where we spent our draft where we had to with Mendoza, but that's it. Not having a true wide receiver one, but I understand. We'll get him next year. I know he's from Ohio State. We're gonna grab him next year.
Okay. I like it. Already predicting that. That's great. Yeah, I like it.
And I already got my Smith jersey on order.
And to be fair, if you think of the wide receivers that moved, maybe you could make the case. We talked about Waddle, like maybe Waddle, but even so, like the money's getting paid. He's going to be 2 years older by the time you're like good 3 years older. Maybe his contract's up. I'd have to look at it. So I don't have any problem with them not bringing in the wide receiver, especially if you're not going to rely on Mendoza right away. If they were going to just throw Mendoza in there without like more reliable targets, I might be like, I'm a little worried, but I'm not too worried about that. So yeah, you're absolutely right. How about you, Travis? Red flag. Sorry, least favorite.
Least favorite. I was going to say wide receiver, but I guess I guess I'll have to come back to my least favorite because I was just saying that they should have moved Crosby.
Yeah, which is not Matt's fault. It is not the Raiders' fault, but the Crosby deal falling through to the Ravens. That was like my least favorite move. That's what I wrote down because I think they got 2 first-round picks out of that deal.
Even after it fell through, they had to deal with the Cowboys that somehow didn't get pulled. And the Cowboys are notorious for aging defensive linemen.
Well, I would take them on the Lions, but my thing was like I think they got 2 first-round picks at first for him, and then it fell through. And I'm just like, you talk about the rebuilding and like, hey, could maybe use a couple young receivers. That was just a missed opportunity. So it's not even the Raiders' fault. I like mostly what they did, but the Crosby deal falling through for the Raiders is a little bit of a bummer because, again, by the time you're good, Crosby is probably going to be over the hill a little bit. So you could have got 2 assets for them, and the Ravens did what they
It
did.
was
So
one. It was a 14 this year and a 27 or first round in 2027.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So
Yeah,
that's too bad.
yeah.
it's Baltimore's dirty. That's why I didn't want to see Ryan McGee. Baltimore's a dirty franchise. Everyone knows it.
Yeah.
I like having Max as a Raider, but yeah, it would have been nice just to continue to stockpile. I think we could have got that big offensive lineman from Penn State that would have really solidified a need at guard. But you know what? How can I complain having Max back? Um, yeah, it's hard. And they might still trade him
Right. That's what I was gonna say.
during the
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
If maybe teams just want to see him in action and then, he gets traded, you might not get 2 first-round picks for him, but if you can get assets, we were talking about the AFC North and like Trey Hendrickson goes off the Bengals for like nothing. And I'm just like, you can't do that. Not when teams are offering you stuff, even like 2 third-round picks, take what you can. Just that's what I would do with the Raiders. If you can get his value up, I would trade him for what you can get for him. Green flag going into the season for you, Matt.
I think just an offense that's going to be um, steady. And this Clint Kubiak knows what he's doing in calling offense and setting up his players to succeed. And boy, Brock Bowers, boy, oh boy, what did Clint Kubiak call him? A alien robot from the heavens or something. Just the guy, he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, I think both green. Yeah. I think Genty is going to have a better year too. That's one thing I'll say is like obviously last year I still wouldn't draft running backs in the first round. I wouldn't draft running backs that high. I'm definitely negative on that, but I think Genty will have a better year this year. Travis, what about you? Green flag for them.
I think the quarterback situation is the biggest green flag.
Yeah.
Everything, and what's funny is we always see the quarterback as the face of the franchise. I think that stability will actually help the Raiders in the long run, not just this year. And even if they go 3-14 again this year, they know they're building. There seems to be a direction, and free agent signings coming to Las Vegas will be much easier. Zero income tax, a franchise that's got a direction. So I think that quarterback situation, so many other dominoes fall into place with that.
Yeah. I wrote down new era, like new culture, new everything. I think this is the first time we're doing a podcast, Matt, where I'm actually excited for the directions of the Raiders. So, yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Red flags for you going into the season, Matt.
Our defense is going to be starting a lot of rookies. We're young at linebacker, or not young, thin at linebacker. Grab 2 in free agency with Nakobe Dean if he could stay healthy, and Quay Walker from Green Bay. I like him, but Dean can't stay healthy. So I was kind of surprised we gave him the money we did. So yeah, just overall our defense. And Thursday, I think the Cardinals, they didn't complete 4 passes.
Okay.
I mean, it was crazy. I mean, they just went up and down the field, even when we had them on 3rd and long. And I know it's the first game. You don't overreact to the first game, but it a lot of defense, just defense.
Okay. Red flag defense. What about you, Travis?
I was going to say defense, but
It's fine.
Different. I want to be different. I'm going to say there's not much with the wide receivers, but if the team goes pretty conservative and runs and throws it to Bowers, it won't probably matter too much. But I think that might be the only red flag. It's going to hold them on the offensive side at least. I mean, yeah, the offensive line has to do their job, but yeah, but the defense. you know, they say preseason games are basically televised practices anyway. So
Yeah, you don't show a whole lot, in that. Um, let's see. I put down, so last year the offensive line for the Raiders had the second most pressure rate for last year. So I know they tidied up a little bit with Linderbaum, but it's like one of those things you got to see before you can believe. You could add a couple guys, but maybe the continuity isn't there. Whatever it might be, it's a concern I have going into the season. But they mitigate my concern a little bit by getting Cousins so that it doesn't make Mendoza form bad habits behind like a bad offensive line if it ends up being bad. But I just want to see it good before I say it will be good. And because their pressure rate was so bad last year, it's a concern of mine going into the season.
The offensive linemen didn't know what they were doing. I watched so many clips of them running into each other. They just didn't know. It was some of the worst coaching by Brendan Carroll, nepotism. Thanks, Pete. We had a couple of young offensive linemen all our rookies didn't even play. So, I mean, it's like we've got 2 rookie classes going into this season.
and in full disclosure, Ryan, in Matt's defense, he was saying those exact things last November, December. So
about
he's been true about the offensive line.
Yeah. Okay. Fantasy football go-to, Matt.
Brock Bowers. This hands down Brock Bowers.
Are you worried about his knee? Didn't he have like a knee thing? Are we worried about that?
That happened in week 1 against the Patriots. He didn't even need surgery. I think he just needed rest. No, I'm not worried about that.
Okay. Well, don't listen to our fantasy football podcast that we recorded last night.
Oh no, I'm going to now.
Yeah, well,
oh wow, what are you concerned about?
Just the knee. Also, like Clint Kubiak's offense hasn't been typically tight end friendly. Like he's usually like JSN types, like, you know what I'm saying? Not that he can't adjust it. I want, again, I'm more like, I want to see it first. I want to see him implement the tight end. I believe he could do it, but I want to see it before I trust it. And just how high he's being drafted. It's like, I'd probably rather have other players other than him myself because there's more proven facts with the other players.
So who was the best offensive receiver on the Seahawks?
Well, it was JSN, right?
Right. And what did Kubiak do with him?
Amazing things.
Moved him all around.
Sure. Oh, gotcha. I gotcha.
In the middle, on the side. Brock Bowers is the best offensive.
Do you think he's going to do that with him?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
he did it in college. There's so many times where Brock Bowers lined up in the backfield, took handoffs.
And see, this is why I got to see it because I don't know that, that he's going to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He knows what he's got in this guy.
Yeah, okay. I'll trust you, but I can't re-record things. Just so you know, I can't re-record it. But
I'd go back.
Go back like just random edits, and be like, "No, Brock Bowers is going to be awesome." Okay. give me your fantasy football go-to, Travis.
I was going to say the same thing because I mean, they got to get the ball in his hands, and quite frankly, if the Raiders don't, they're going to end up 2-15 or whatever it is. So, but I do have a secondary one that is an outside, late round draft that you might want to consider, and that is Matt Gay, their kicker. Because I don't know if the Raiders are going to score touchdowns. I do believe they're going to move the football. And when teams do that, lots of field goals. So
that was so lame because Matt Gay might not even make the team. He is
perfect.
So awful. He is so awful.
So you should be like Raiders kicker. Raiders kicker.
Whoever the Raiders kicker is, they're going to get a lot of chances. I don't know if the Raiders are going to score touchdowns, but move between the 20s. All right. Well, whoever you guys are going to throw out there.
That's good. That's good. I went with Trey Tucker. He's being drafted 64 wide receiver, 62 wide receiver, ADP. 158. Like, he is listed as their number one receiver. I imagine they're still going to throw the ball to a wide receiver. So whatever receiver that might be that you trust the most, but Trey Tucker, he's really good value for a number one wide receiver. You don't have to pick him until like late in your draft. So Trey Tucker might be somebody I would take a chance on.
So
Or if
I've
you're
got
if you're in a small league, go look for him in free agency after week 2.
True.
I've got a bonus for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Michael Mayer. You could
Oh.
probably get him with one of your last picks in your draft. And if anything happens to Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer is a really good tight end. And they're going to use the 12 personnel quite a bit, I believe, in that offense. So I think he's going to be on the field a lot. And you never know.
I liked it when they drafted
bonus.
him too, and
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I like it. Prediction for the Raiders this season, Matt. The over under is at 5.5.
I am going over 6-11.
Okay, still in range for that receiver, right?
Yep, 6-11.
6-11. Travis,
I'm going 5-12.
Okay.
Man, Matt, I was hoping you were going to say like 13-4 or something.
Yeah.
I am not like that.
Okay, I love it. I went 5-12 too, but I think 5.5 is the perfect number for them, and I could see them winning 6 or 5. I don't think they're going to be the worst team in the league. I think Arizona and Miami, New York could be one of those teams. I see good things for the Raiders, so we'll see.
And you know what all those teams have in common that you just mentioned, Ryan?
What's that?
They need quarterbacks. So you know who's going to slip to the Raiders?
Your wide receiver guy.
My Buckeye.
They're Buckeye. That's right. Let's go for you. Okay. Thanks for listening to this preview of the Raiders. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Give us your predictions for the Raiders this season. Okay, so thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.